Hello, everyone. Welcome. This is Ashley's Heart Song, and this is the place where we get out of the stress and back into our body, our life, and our business. When we tap into the song of our heart, that is the place where we master the mind and the stress that steals our life. And we have such a special guest today, and I still have her on the screen with me, so I love this so much. This is with me is Dawn Maynor, and I'm going to read her bio before we get rolling on the conversation. But I'm so grateful that you're here to be able to hear this message today. You know, we talk about getting quiet within and really tuning into the heart song here on the show. And our special guest today is going to help elevate that for you. She is the master at being able to tap in, and I am thrilled that she is here to be with us and to share that with us. So let me get over to her information, guys. Dawn Maynor is the manifesting life coach. She is passionate about helping others reignite the light within themselves and finding that internal peace. She is a conqueror of anxiety, depression, PTSD, and grief. After the loss of her baby Brooklyn in 2010 and the choice of leaving the corporate world behind, she went on a quest to find all the holistic healing modalities to live a happier life. She now coaches women on how to tune into their inner being, prioritize their emotions, and fill their hearts with praise. In addition to her work, she is a wife of 21 years to her husband, Brian, a mother of a 17-year-old son named Keenan, 10-year-old daughter named Kendall, and her baby, angel baby, Brooklyn. Oh, my goodness. Dawn, welcome to the show today. I am so happy you're here.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I already see some familiar faces on here, so excited to see you guys.
Isn't that fun? I
Yes.
know. Yes, yeah, and the love will just keep pouring in. So, Dawn, I love on your on what I just read that for some reason I just want to start here. How you help women tune into their inner being, prioritize their emotions, and fill their hearts with praise. You know, I just read something. It was either last night right before I went to bed or this morning after I woke up when I was doing all my journaling and writing and stuff. And it talked about how praise, which I feel like praise and compassion kind of go together. Because when you praise someone, you know, you're being compassionate towards them. And that compassion kind of rules out the negativity that can come into our life. So have you found that through that combination of things that you do when you help women, is that really like what's happening? You're actually like washing away the negativity that can seep in?
Yes. I mean, one of my favorite things to start with is the way you talk to yourself. Those internal words on a day-to-day basis, it starts to become a reflection on the outside. And when you can start, first step is to become aware of those thoughts and then start working on transforming them and help you come up with a passion statement or a purpose statement, life statement, a way to speak to yourself every single day. Write it out, you have it in front of you. And your goal would be to try to write it every day until you start becoming that and being that. Because
I
our words are, our journaling is an extension of our heart chakra, our heart energy. And so that's why it's so powerful to write things out, because it's coming from your heart, and your arms and your fingers and your hands are connected to your heart energy.
Yes. You know, I love that you just shared that because that is one thing I may have heard it before, but when you said it was like I heard it for the first time.
Oh,
You're journaling and you're writing, it's that extension of your heart. And after a meditation, I did Qigong and then flowed into a meditation on my retreat weekend. And the message that I received through the writing, because which you've probably found this to be true as well. You think you know what the message is because it came in while you were there. But then as you write and you just do that free writing, it's like, oh my gosh, the message just explodes on paper and gets so much deeper and more to the heart of it.
yes. And what I have found is when I was writing every single day what I wanted in my life and the way I wanted my life to be, I would start receiving that. And there was times it was like, whoa, that's not what I meant. And the writing helped me become more and more clear with what I really wanted. And one day I sat down, I said, gosh, what am I searching for? What is it that I really want? And it just came. It was joy. I just want joy and peace and love. And and so then my new statement became, I am a vessel full of love and joy. Therefore, I can be a good wife, mother, sister, friend.
Oh, I love that. So, tell us more about the first part of what you just spoke to around, you were writing out what you wanted, but then you realized something happened, right? That triggered you going, wait a minute, that's not what I want. Because I heard those words come out of your mouth. Wait, that's not what I want. So, what happened to let you know that that's not what I want? And you had to become more clear. What?
Yeah, it was going back to the heart. It was coming out of my heart. There was this desire so strong that this feeling of, gosh, well, what I'm writing this stuff all the time and I'm receiving the things that I'm asking for, but it still wasn't feeling like that was it. Like that was not enough, right? And I just said it out loud. I was like, what are you searching for? And it came right away. Joy. You are, and that is, if you look at the emotional vibrational scale, that is on the top of the scale.
It is. It is. But I think a lot of people can probably really relate to your journey through that because we do think we know what we want, but then it's really do you feel like you were in a place like you said, okay, I'm receiving, but this isn't what I want. There's something
Yeah.
more than this. So do you feel that that was like a growth process, like there was a stair step to that realization?
Definitely. Yeah, I was in depression, grief, post-traumatic stress, lost. My rock bottom, having dark night of the soul, and I was crawling my way out of that. And I was learning about manifesting. And that stuff was happening and that stuff was great. Yes, my outside world was starting to be a reflection of all those things that I was asking for. And that's why now what I want to teach people is that we're manifesting to feel good. Yes, all those other things they're gonna come. But if you're not feeling good and having fun along the way as striving for those things, you're still not ultimately getting what your heart really wants. We want to feel good.
Yeah, we do. And when we feel good, you're right, we get those other things.
Yeah.
Yeah, it all comes. Oh, how beautiful. Love that. What else on the manifesting would you say? So you write in your journal every day who you want to be, what you want to become, what you would love in your life, your new story, so to speak. Is that what it would be? Like your new story, your new reality?
Yeah, yeah.
Reading.
So yeah, I do the journaling. I have the vision board. And a recent one that came true for me that I'd been on there for a long time was the getting to come and be on your stage. I want to be a public speaker, and it's kind of just been like a little bit there. There's been the fear of like really putting it out there.
Mhm.
Uh, and then, we got connected and I got to go on your stage and it's a full circle moment for me. And right before that, I had went to the Manifesting Summit in Miami and I was able to see people 'cause in my brain, I'm like, when I do public speaking, I want to do some meditations, maybe some yoga poses, whatever the modalities that have helped me within my journey. I'm like, but how would I do that with the public speaking? Just, I always pictured like people just getting there and talking. And at the Manifesting Summit, Michael Beckwith, Marie Diamond, they were all showing tools of manifesting that weren't just from them talking and sharing stories. They were actually implementing the meditations, the energy work, like rubbing your fingernails together to help you tap back into your body and doing things to get back into your body, get you out of your head and out of the ego state.
Oh, wow. Yeah, so now you are just percolating with all these ideas now.
Yes.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And the part of manifesting is they say, to go put yourself in situations so you can see it being done and then do something to embody it. And so the embodying part is it could just be rubbing your fingernails together. You see it, move around, dancing, or yeah, if you rub your fingernails together and you pause, you can feel all the tingling in your fingers.
Yes. How fun.
Yeah.
So the embodying part is just thing that you can do to tap into and get embodied.
Yeah, you could dance, you could just shake your arms, shake your legs,
Okay.
any type of way that
Okay. Kind of like what I
screaming.
chef
You could scream.
What was that?
You could scream.
That's so fun. Yeah. All right. So let's switch gears just a little bit, unless you had something else on that that you wanted to share. Anything else?
That's okay. You go ahead.
Okay. So I do want to touch on that part about how do you work through fear
Mm.
when you're working with someone who has been through something as traumatic as you or a different thing. What do you do to help them through their fear? How do you do that?
Well, I'll give you an example of something that happened to me just last week. So I have been, I've wanted to host a retreat ever since I been on this journey of collecting all these tools, right? And something has always held me back from just doing it. I mean, I went into my notes and I found on Canva from 2022, it was already outlined, everything ready, and I still was not doing it. This past year, I made friends with this lady who was creating a course to help people learn how to host retreats because it was something she'd done for years and she was growing out of hosting and was now wanting to teach people how to host retreats. So I take her training and I mean, I took the training, it was in November and I still was not putting, and I picked the weekend, I picked the date that I was going to do it, still wasn't doing it. I think it was like 2 weeks ago. I made myself say, I'm going to sit down today and nothing's going to get in my way to build out the sales page and put this out there. That morning, I didn't want to get up. That's not normal for me. I was like, oh, and then I scheduled yoga. I'm like, I went to yoga. And I just had this feeling like I was wanting to cry and I felt sad. There was all this emotional stuff going on. I'm using all my tools. I come home. We live on the lake. I walk out to the lake. I'm looking out there. I'm like, oh, the lake's so beautiful. I'm so grateful for my house. I'm pulling in all my techniques. And like I'm like, gosh, I just need to make myself cry and get this over with. Like, what? This is so ick. I don't want this. And I showered, I sit down, I start working on the retreat stuff. And as I'm working, I'm starting to feel better. And I submitted it and put it out. And when I put it out there, there was this freedom that came over me. And I had a moment of, I was self-sabotaging myself. Like that was how fear came up for me in this day. So it can come up in all varieties of ways, but really acknowledging like that was fear. And that was me resisting putting something out there that I've been wanting to put out there. And you can notice like when it comes in, where is it in my body? And there's certain tools you can use to work through that. Like if you're locked up in your throat, then it's because there's something you need to say that needs to get out. And to release that, you would surround yourself in the color blue. Journaling's another way as well. Screaming, doing lion's breath. There's breathing techniques to release it and start working through. And what I really discovered within myself that day was the only way through fear is action. Take action, and if it's just one little step.
Amen. Yep. You got to take action. If you
Yeah.
sit in it, it doesn't go away.
No, it's going to keep, because that's your soul. That's everything. It's there for a reason until you bring it. And I said, you know what? I don't know what is in the way, like why I have this fear. Is it because I'm scared no one's going to sign up? Like, I don't know what it is, but if I do nothing about it, it's always going to be there trying to move through me. And so I said, you know what? I don't care if anyone signs up. At least I put it on the schedule and I created it and it's out there for if people do, they do. And if they don't, they do. I'll do something else.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Yeah. So Dawn, let's just go ahead and tell the audience right now, she does a day retreat. You want to just kind of,
So it's a manifesting day retreat to help you look at your past self, your future self, and bring it into the now self. So we'll do different things, modalities to help you with that. It's an inward journey. There'll be Reiki. I have my Reiki teacher that's going to come help me with the Reiki portion. And we're going to do restorative yoga. So the yoga will be just gentle, slow, so that it's inward stuff and breathing techniques. I want to do a floating sound bath. That'll be something new for me. I think I'm gonna do a test run the weekend before, because I haven't ever experienced with that, but I see all the promotion about it right now. It's kind of like a new thing. And with manifesting, you've got to have fun. You've got to play. So there will be a portion of playtime. You'll have a choice from playing yard games, croquet, paddleboarding, trails you could go walk on, go on a bike ride. You could anything just to get out there and do some play. Fireside chat, sunset boat cruise, sound healing. I think I covered everything there. Journaling, dream boarding. So that I was like, it's really like all my favorite things bundled up into a package, for you to find what your heart is desiring and leave here feeling refreshed, inspired, and ready just to go take on who it's for the women that maybe they just kind of forgot who they were and they've like lost them, right? We're caught up in our being a mom or being at work, whatever it is, and to help them come back into who they are and what they want in life.
I love that. Yeah. So if you want to attend and love on yourself a little bit and attend a 1 day, it's 1 day, right?
Yeah.
1 day manifesting retreat, then we are going to have all Dawn's information in the description of this show. So be sure and click on that if you are interested. And she also has a great podcast, y'all, while we're there. She has a really good podcast, and her website is Manifesting More with Dawn, right?
Yep. Manifest more with dawnmaynor.com. My favorite podcast episode on there is Yoga Nidra. If you take that episode and apply it, I would say every day just try it for 2 weeks, you're going to feel a shift in your life, because what's happening is it's resetting your nerve. It's called Yoga Nidra meditation, and it's on the podcast. You can do it to go to sleep at night. You could have it. You wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning and you can't go back to sleep. It'll help you fall back to sleep, or just during the day, if you need a break from work or anytime during the day, it resets the cells, it resets the nervous system to help you come out of that fight or flight. And the more and more you practice that, you'll start to manifest from a surrendered state instead of a manufactured force state. Like we're always in this, most of us, right? Just like forcing and on the go and in a hurry. Peel those layers back by applying this meditation, and you'll start to feel a shift in your life.
I love that. Manifest from a surrendered state. That's beautiful. And I did ask you if you could share a story around one of the sacred metabolizers, and you chose surrender. Would you like to share that?
Wait, what's the question?
Yeah, so it was, I asked if you could give me a story around surrender, so to speak, and you said it was when you left the corporate and had lost Brooklyn. It was during that time of learning what surrender truly was.
Okay, yeah. So, my when I lost Brooklyn, we went on a vacation, and after that, during that trip, I was reading the book called Tribes by Seth Godin, and he says you have to release the old to let in the new. I set the book down. I looked up at my husband and I said, I know what I have to do. I have to go home and donate all of her stuff, because I was like, oh, we're just gonna get pregnant again. Like we got pregnant easily with Kenan and her. So like, oh, I'm just gonna. Well, 2 years went by and we still weren't. And I was like, that's her stuff. Like all of the energy around that is Brooklyn, and what Brooklyn would want is for this stuff to be donated. And so I went home, cleared everything out. We were pregnant in 2 weeks.
Wow.
And then at the time, my saying was, let go to let in, let go to let in.
Yes. Oh, wow. That's beautiful. And it's so true. I had that kind of instance happen with me, but it was with my new little puppy that I had decided, okay, my trainer was going to find her a new home because she just was not catching on to what she needed to do here in this home. The moment that I made that decision that I was gonna let her go to somebody else, I was gonna stop trying to manage her and make her good, whatever it was. Um, I went home had that conversation with the trainer, and it was just like it was like that. Luna was a completely different puppy. I
Wow.
supported her. I just, what is for her highest good is what I want.
Yeah.
Is where she can thrive. And all of a sudden, it's almost like she felt that tension leave me and
Yes.
her, and now I mean, it's like nobody better want her because we have a really good relationship.
Yes.
So
Yeah, you shifted your energy, and I mean that just shows you how animals can feel our energy just as much as we all feel each other's energy. Um, and our energy expands out 6 feet around us. That's why when you walk into a room and you feel that person being upset or angry or whatever it is, because our energy expands out. It's not just in our body; it expands out from us.
yeah, so true. But for you to be able to do that with, this was just my dog, right? With that kind of a heartbreak, is truly amazing. And to be able to see that happen for you and your husband, wow,
Yeah.
that's amazing. Beautiful work.
Thank you.
Beautiful work that you do, that you help others receive.
Yes, thank you. I
Yeah.
love it.
Me too. So I want to talk about the chakras and how to apply them in your life. That makes me very curious. So you've spoken about a couple, but kind of let's just dive in right here and
Okay.
educate us as if
Yes.
we don't know anything around what chakras are, right?
Yes. So chakras are the energy systems in our body, and they start at the base of the spine and they work their way up. And there's many more, but we focus on the 7 main chakras. And so the first one is located at the base of your spine. It's our root chakra. Anytime we are in fear, it could be because we have changed jobs. Even when you're traveling, you're kind of disoriented, and it's you get constipated when you travel, right? So that's part of the root chakra, that stuck energy. One of my favorite exercises to do daily to keep that energy flowing is you could just be seated and you send your heart forward and you round your heart back. So getting the energy of the spine moving, and then it's called the Kundalini energy, all the chakras that run up and down the spine. You would do that. You could do that about 2 minutes and then circle your spine around with that same movement with the spine. So you're sending your heart forward as you circle. And when you go back, you're rounding your chin into your chest. I like to do it 7 times, both directions. So that way I know I'm getting all 7 chakras. I do those 2 poses every day, sometimes multiple times. You'll see like a shift in the way you feel when you do them. Um, so that's something to kind of awaken all of them. And then the second chakra is associated with our emotions. That's why if you've ever gone to a yoga class and it's worked on your hips, the hips are associated with our emotions. You may have been crying in that class because the teacher is helping you open and release something. And it's all of the watery elements in the body. So our saliva, our tears, our blood flow, all is in the second chakra area. And then you go into the third, which is at the navel center point, your place of willpower, getting things done. It's why it's important to do a little bit of core work every single day, because that core, the center of the body, it's building heat, it's building motivation. So after you do core, then you feel a little more energized
Mhm.
every single time. I mean, anytime I do a core class, I always leave there like, I want to do some cartwheels. I'm so energy after a core class. And that's why it's the center of your body being activated. One of my favorite breathing techniques with it is breath of fire. That's another way to detoxify and create some energy. And then we move into the heart, right here in the center of the chest, our spiritual heart. If you want to work through forgiveness, opening your heart, you could do a compassion meditation, meta meditation. You could just look that up. Anything's and journaling helps with the heart. And then you go into your throat. It's with your fifth chakra, and it's all communication, anything surrounding communication. So there's times when your throat is locked up, that's a block. If you're working on throat chakra, so lifting your chin up and down, circling your neck, little exercises, and you have a sensation to cough, that's a blockage trying to come out. You've been doing that sound of the really loud, getting a clearing out. And what else with the throat? That's one of my favorites to work on. Oh, I know. So if you're ever with someone and you can never get in a word because they're talking so much, their throat is it's called an overactive throat chakra. And then there's the person that they never want to talk. They're closed. There's something that happened that they're closed off. And so all of the chakras can be overactive or underactive. So we want to try to keep them balanced. And there's things that happen in life that unbalance them. So that's, going ways to balance them is different yoga poses, Reiki energies, any type of energy healing sessions. And then you go into the third eye, your intuition. When it's blocked, you're not able to hear from your heart. You're in your head too much. If you're not able to tap in, and we call it's so many names with that one: Anja, sixth chakra, your third eye, and then the top of your head is your crown chakra. That's where we receive information. So
And
those are
meditation.
7 main. Yeah.
Nice. So I love that about the throat. Those are helpful. And then the one around, which one was the body circles?
They're called Sui circles, and it's a Kundalini yoga exercise that you would do.
All right. And that's for the full lineup of all 7.
Yeah.
Okay. I love that. Yeah. And Qigong, he has us do spirals with the spine and the circles. And so I am glad to know the more specified.
Yeah. What's happening in your body.
That's very cool. I love that. Going all the way up, trickles up. So now I can visualize that happening, and that gives it so much more power and so much more fun. Wow.
And there's so much with the chakras. There's a color associated with each one. You could take a whole course on it. It's one of my favorite things that I've studied.
Yeah, I bet. It's so fascinating. It is so fascinating. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for sharing all that. Yeah. I saw that, that we could talk about that. I was like, oh yeah, that's going to be the main topic.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. Well, we have a couple of minutes left before we open it up to everybody that's here. And I did want to, there was the third question that that you listed out is, what do you say to people who say that they don't have time to meditate? Because I get that a lot. And of course it comes into mind too, my mind of, you don't have time to do this. It happens because we live in this physical world with that ego mind. So what do you say to people? How can you help us with this?
Okay. So what happens when you do start meditating? It's called bending time. You get time back, because when you're not in that state of practicing meditation, you're more in a reactive state instead of responsive state. And when we react, you are creating drama. You're creating intense energy. You're creating gripping. And we want to come from a relaxed state. And when we come from a relaxed state, you're allowing more in. There's more space in the body. Because if you're gripping, there's no space. Then once you let go of your hands and you start to ease, that easiness. And so meditation helps you deal with life from that relaxed state.
Yeah. I love that. When you did that, when you're clenching, nothing can flow and nothing can come in. But when you relax and open up, the body opens. And so therefore time is going to open. I love that.
Yeah.
Hold on.
You can manipulate time by, I've played with this a lot. Like, you'll catch yourself, oh my gosh, I'm going to be late. I'm in a hurry. Change that and say, I have more than enough time. I have extra time. And you start saying that, and then you'll see, like, oh my gosh, I was going to be late, but then there we are, like
on time. Yes, 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 yes. Yeah, there's a Louise Hay mantra that I picked up on years ago. I have time and space for all that I need to do. I am at peace. And I call that the time expander. You know, if you just get inside that and just repeat it and get in that what I call state of operation, you know, that mode that's just slow and intentional, then it does. It opens up for you. I
Yeah.
love that. I love that. But that visual that you did, that was great. That was great. Yeah, love it. Dawn, thank you for being here. What fun it was to have you here. Is there any final word that you would love to say to the audience today?
Work on your inside and you'll see the outside be a reflection of that.
That's beautiful. Yep, for sure. Dawn, thank you. And
Yes.
we're going to go over to the live audience, but before we do that, would just love to say for all of you who are watching um, on the Win Win Women TV network, I am so grateful that you found us. This has been Ashley's Heart Song, and join us each week as we continue to armor up our lives. I'll see you next time.